Is it really satisfying when you get that job, when you finish that project, when you win that argument, when you do? Ow. Does it really make you feel happy, good, satisfied, fulfilled, excited? Is it really fun what you're doing, what you're pretending that is fun? Do you really feel close? Do you want to feel close? And when you have answers, it takes a massive leap of faith to actually live by your answers. Because we usually have decades of practice how not to do these things. We usually give ourselves the reinforcement that I might have high hopes, but I'm never going to achieve them. I might have a lot of enthusiasm, but I'm going to be taken down. I might open my heart up, and it is going to be broken. And if you want to experience yourself one way, then source, not God, not somebody outside of yourself, your own power generator will not judge. It will not go through your script, be like, babe, I don't think this is going to be a blockbuster. Can we just take the sad part out? Can we just be happy for a while? Like, Jesus, do we have to be heartbroken again? Like, haven't we had that enough times? Like, so many times. Jesus. No, source is just going to be like, all right, another melodrama. Let's see how that goes. Oh, the same way as yesterday. All right, we're going to have a boring Tuesday again. Well done. That's all that it does. That's all that your body is doing to you. If you want to have the same chemicals each and every day, you are going to have them. If you want to have the same relationship, the same partner each and every time, you will have it. My experience was kind of a leapfrogging, that I didn't have the same person with different faces. I had the opposite of how I was treating the previous partner. So if I was more detached, then I became more attached. If I was more abusive, then I've become the one who was victimizing myself. If I were the more narcissistic, then I became the more insecure. And I got to experience both of those extremes, both of those states. And I realized that we were together coupling up in a way that suited both of our identifications. They needed to be seen one way. I needed to be seen the other way. And the two perfectly matched. What a match made in heaven. Well fucking done. That's how it works. If you genuinely have no intention to hurt or harm yourself, then you will not surround yourself with people who have the intention to hurt or harm themselves. And eventually, you are depriving yourself of healthy relationships. Because everybody will just say that, well, you're doing fine. You don't need anybody. You don't seem to be in any stress ever at all. You're just doing so well. You're so successful. And deep down inside, you're like, please, somebody just look through the facade. Please, somebody just recognize, for fuck's sake, that I'm in pain. I just don't dare to talk about it. I don't know how to show this because it hurts. That's what wildly individualistic people are doing deep down inside. They are shouting for someone to please look through the veil. Please notice that I'm not okay. You need to be the first person who does that for you. And then when you move past those states, not move past, when you move through those states, unfortunately, then you get to a state of peace, proper peace. War is over. All you have to do is go home and be yourself. Spend some time together with the person that you are already spending 24/7 with. Don't just Netflix and chill. Actually listen. Do mundane shit that will reveal something of your true character. You don't need to be bored. Do stuff. You don't have to sit in meditation and do nothing. Do keep doing stuff, and do keep listening to yourself, experiencing yourself for, am I really enjoying this? Am I choosing this? Is this really me? And just because you're doing something out of habit, have the courage to mix it up, change it up, do stuff that you've never done before. It doesn't have to be big. Just try things in a different way. Look at things from a different perspective. Not for anybody else, for yourself. Spend some time getting to know who you are, because nobody else is going to do that for you. And unless you genuinely ask for help, nobody else is going to do it with you. This person is amazing. She's better, he's better than anybody else that I've seen before. I have to get together with them. I don't really like them. I mean, we don't really have too much in common. We don't really talk to each other. We don't really agree on a lot of things. We have very different political views. We have very different interests in life. We have a very different value system, but she's better than anybody else before I have to have a relationship. And we force ourselves into situations where we're screaming and shouting, please don't do this to me. And you keep doing it. So in the dream, I said to the lady that you really don't have to. You really don't have to buy it. You really don't need this other person. And I was just watching the sales lady literally belittling herself, like physically drawing away from the prospect. And I've spent so much money on trying to figure out what's wrong with me, because I didn't even understand. It was just pain, just raw pain in my body, my mind. And I thought that this next thing is going to tell me what's wrong with me so that at least I get to fix it somehow. Ask. Just ask. What do I feel? What do I actually really think of myself? How am I treating myself? Do I feel safe in my own company? Do I feel good being naked in front of myself? Do I want to look at myself naked? Am I happy with my body? Am I happy with my lifestyle? If I look around where I live, how I spend my days, the things that are important for me, the things that I keep repeating, the routine that I'm having, the relationships that I'm having, the quality of the relationships that I have, the frequency of the relationships, how often I meet people, how much time I spend with them, what kind of conversations do we have? Do I really like it? Do I really like the life that I'm living? Do I really like myself? And if the answer is a no to any one of those things, then what I've done is I went back before anything went wrong. We've marketed that piece as boredom, that if there is no drama in the relationship, then there must be something wrong. Then he's cheating on me. I might conjure up something. I'm bored. I'm just spending my entire life with one person. That's bullshit. That, for me, that level, when you say that a long-term commitment, a long-term investment into nurturing a relationship could be a burden, that's the same as when they make you go, ow, into a laptop camera. You don't understand how it feels to be vulnerable with someone. because it feels better than anything that you can fake. Trust, peace, safety does not feel like a burden. It feels like a sigh of relief. It feels like you are free to go home because your home is nurturing, loving, kind, supportive, exciting. You can have so much fun, so much excitement at a peaceful home. And it's pretty much a battlefield out there. So that's your pit stop. That's your energy recharge center. When you do have a relationship like that, that charges you with all the energy that you will need outside to be able to go back out onto the battlefield and do whatever you need to do, get the job, do the project, achieve, and then you are free to go home and free to be yourself with the person who reflects something to you that is not coming from competition, not coming from fear, not coming from pretending that everything is fine. When something is not fine, we don't have to look like it is fine. When something is hurting, when you do feel vulnerable, it feels incredibly good to have someone who knows how to pick up the slack. You don't always have to be the stronger one. And support and care doesn't have to look anyhow. You don't have to ship fucking strawberries when you can buy them in the supermarket. And you don't have to go around in a big building for 3 hours because it looks pretty. That's not what a relationship is about. I was living with a woman at the time, and you know who you are, and I fucking love you. We were living in a tiny studio apartment, and I don't remember what felt wrong at the time, but something did really feel wrong. And all she did was, I don't even remember if it was Christmas time, but she put down just a bunch of tangled Christmas lights on the floor, and two of us sat down on the kitchen floor and we cried. One of the best moments of my life. Life was simple back then, and we loved each other so much. That's what a relationship is. When no matter what, you just love each other so much. And it wasn't a romantic relationship. We just gave each other so much care, so much attention. And we didn't try to look anyhow. We didn't try to pretend that everything is going okay. And we didn't try to convince ourselves that we're doing fine. We were not doing fine at the time. And looking back, there was so much love in that room. Even in the worst moments, you can generate that feeling. You can feel that love, and you can give that love to someone else. When you feel like someone is taking from you all the time, when you feel like that people are too much for you, so you just want to be by yourself, you just want to be independent, and you don't want to I wanted to say you don't want to reply to anyone, but it's true. You don't want to reply to anyone. You don't even want to respond to messages. You don't even want to engage with the world. You don't want to feel like you are depending on other people to be whole and complete. That is not a healthy relationship, not even with yourself. You're putting so much pressure, so much stress, physical stress onto you, that at some point, your body will have to go, I am going to shut the fuck down if you're not listening. If you don't acknowledge how much stress you're trying to suppress, I am not going to work anymore. And it's not a good state to be in. So don't get yourself to that point.